You ever wonder what pushes someone to keep going mentally and physically when life throws real challenges at them? Today, I want to talk about the connection between my Instagram post on wheelchair basketball and the research behind it, especially through the lens of self determination theory, or SDT. The article I based my post on explored the motivational factors that keep wheelchair basketball athletes committed and thriving in their sport. It highlighted that beyond overcoming physical challenges, these athletes find deep psychological and emotional benefits like confidence, self worth, and a sense of purpose. In my post, I focus on one of the key components of SDT: competence. Competence refers to the feeling of being capable and effective in one's actions. The article showed that for many athletes, the ability to master basketball skills like shooting, strategizing, or simply improving performance boosted their internal drive. It wasn't just about being active, it was about getting better and knowing they could. By emphasizing how every pass and pivot builds skills and confidence, my post reflects that sense of growing competence. I also included physical and psychological benefits like strength and mental focus, because the article pointed out that athletes not only become physically stronger, but also develop optimism, resilience, and a higher quality of life through sport. Finally, the post ends with a simple way to get started. This was important because the article noted that visible support, accessibility, and early positive feedback are key motivators, especially early in the journey. So overall, the post captures what the article found. The competence isn't just about being good at something. It's about realizing your potential, and wheelchair basketball is a powerful way to do that. The flyer promoting wheelchair basketball connects really well with the main reasons why people choose to play the sport. It shows that they are often motivated by autonomy, the desire to take control of their own lives, and set personal goals. The flyer highlights this by using phrases like play your way, set your goals, you decide how far you want to go, and your chair, your game, your power. This speaks directly to the idea of self-determination, where they are encouraged to make their own choices about how they want to grow, compete, and improve. It connects with what's described in the article, where many join wheelchair basketball to regain independence, build confidence, and take ownership of their physical health and personal success. The sport becomes more than just exercise. It's a way to feel empowered and in control again. The flyer also relates to two other important motivations from the article: competence and relatedness. Competence is about building skills, improving strength, and seeing real progress over time, which the flyer encourages to build skills, improve strength, and see your progress. This reflects the drive to feel capable and successful as they develop their abilities. At the same time, relatedness, the need to connect and belong, is highlighted in the flyer. It invites people to join the team that supports, uplifts, and grows together. This matches what the article says about how friendship, teamwork, and social connection keeps athletes motivated. Wheelchair basketball is shown not just as a physical activity, but as a community where people can grow personally and socially. Altogether, the flyer captures the same key motives for participation that are discussed in the article.
Within this Instagram reel that I've made, we can make a connection with the self-determination theory, also known as SDT. To begin, this theory is a psychological framework that explores what drives human motivation. In this case, we will see and dive into autonomy within these warm-ups before playing basketball, while also incorporating my article and the research behind it. Autonomy is a sense of being in control of one's actions and decisions. After reviewing the article, Empowering Motivation, the Journey of Wheelchair Basketball Athletes to Overcome Constraints, we can see the different types of motivational factors that pertain to the self-determination theory. Within this social media campaign, I have created this reel that grasps the idea of self-determination within basketball athletes who need to use wheelchairs. From this article, we see how 13 wheelchair athletes take part in this study to see the way they play and what motivates them to play. Ways in which we read about negative effects would be if there are constraints that limit the ability of the wheelchair user to take part in such physical activity. Some of these constraints could be access to facilities or having the ability to access certain equipment that is needed due to their inability. Some of the motivators would be increasing functionality and independence, socialization opportunities, and psychological well-being, as it is stated in the article. Autonomy within this sport means that the athletes feel like they are taking action with a sense of volition. They are not just following instructions, but making meaningful choices about their training, strategies, and roles within the team. One often overlooked area where autonomy shines is in warm-up stretching, which within this reel we will see a different variety of them occur that could be used. For these athletes, choosing their way of warming up based on their body, equipment, and readiness can make a big difference. Psychological autonomy can be most perceived from this case as well, which is one of the main topics that the article discusses. A phrase that I believe is very important that one of the writers from the article states is that they see basketball as an important element in accepting disability as a meaningful pursuit that opens doors, which indicates positive effects on psychological health. Within the research, the information that was collected were questions that were prepared by addressing the motivational phenomenon within this theory. In this case, they called it the self-determination theory's taxonomy of motivation, which noted that studies involving thematic analysis, a deductive approach, can be used for theory-driven analysis. Some disadvantages that we need to consider could be known as the 3 sub-themes that emerge, which are structure, health, and constraints during sports. Also, this theory focuses mostly on the intrinsic motivation, which is known as being suitable for my personality, the need to exist. While extrinsic motivation is to be seen as an athlete, not as a person with a disability, which shows that they want appreciation. Overall, this brings me to my conclusion that when players feel ownership over their warm-up, their performance, and their path forward, they don't just show up. They show up with a purpose.